My Honda works.
You okay, Brian? Can you hear us?
Thanks, bye-bye.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. You should have received an email just barely from me.
Got it.
Wonderful. Okay. I'd like to welcome everybody to the City Council work session on May 12th, 2026. Thank you for those online. Thank you for those here in attendance. This is going to be, I think, a pretty important meeting, but hopefully we'll be able to clip along and also be effective. We're going to start with the general plan review. We're going to talk about this chapters 7 through 10, as well as the executive summary of the Woodland Hills general plan. So let me share my screen here. And you guys all should have received this a couple weeks ago, I think, right?
Yeah.
Wow, look at us go. We usually give it to you like 10 seconds before. And I received all of Steve's comments and notes. I have not yet had time because I've been working head deep in the budget. So I'll still be implementing his, but I'd like us to just jump through here. Brian, you can see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, let's just jump through and hit all these red spots. And if there's any other comments while we go through them, please raise them as we go through.
Mm-hmm. I mean, really, there wasn't much.
Okay, so here on this first one, we're shifting limited to controlled and single family medium, low density to medium, single family medium or density development.
Mhm.
Does that, anybody have any issues there?
No.
Okay. Okay, here we are going and adding economic resilience and to contribute to the local economy that surrounds the city. Any issues there?
When we say surrounds the city, we're talking about Salem. and-
Salem and stuff. Is that the idea?
Okay, not Spanish.
Correct.
Okay, I do have a couple, I've got notes all over this thing, just to be honest. With that one that surrounds the city, that is duplicative. You're just, when you say local economy, that means it's local, it surrounds the city. That is, you don't need to say that. I think that's improper English. You're duplicating what you just said.
Okay, does anybody,
Well, I agree, because local economy can be wherever.
Dan, Janet?
Yeah, it sounds a little redundant. I mean, I think we could take it off and it still has the same meaning.
Same impact.
Okay,
Before that, in the paragraph at the top, it says retail centers or office parks is neither desired nor practical. I don't know that we can say that it's not desired. There are some people in the city that would desire retail, but it is not practical. I disagree that it's neither desired nor. I think that should be struck.
I think that makes sense, because I guess that's subjective is what you're saying. It just depends on who you're talking to. So if we
Precisely.
keep it, so it's neutral.
do we want to
It's not
slam the
desired by
door?
99% of people, but yeah, I get it.
Should we
There
put?
are plenty of people that want more tax base, right? And that's the only opportunity for tax base. So
What about something more like that? Park
Probably
is
not.
probably not practical.
yes, and I do agree that it's not practical. We just don't have the traffic for retail.
I think we've got quite the changing demographic,
Mhm.
right? With Viridian, with Three Bridges, with everything else that's coming in. We've got
Yeah.
two Harmons
Now
coming
there's
in
some
now.
Harmons coming.
Spanish and Salem. Maybe we can still get that Harmons if they're trying to do the trifecta. Okay, anything else there, Brian?
I have more on that page if you're okay.
Let's hear it.
So down in the it says Utah State Code continues to update regulations involving licensing and permitting. Woodland, that's one sentence. So Woodland Hills follows these updates and intends its code and amends its code as needed. I think that could be combined into one simple sentence. It doesn't read very well.
Utah State Code continues to update regulations involving licensing and permitting.
Yeah,
And Woodland Hills follows these updates and amends their code as
Okay,
then the next paragraph, it talks about celebrating local entrepreneurship by publishing list of home-based businesses. Is this something we're going to do? This is
Yeah,
saying
we've never
we're going to do something.
voluntarily
Yeah,
publishing. a list.
currently we actually do the opposite of that. We don't intentionally publish anything. We've done extremely restrictive because we don't want to be exclusionary, thus we've excluded everybody.
I guess it could be an opt-in if those who have own businesses want people to know they have them.
And I
We
think
could-
it's something that we could look at. But what this is saying is that we do this and we don't, as far as I'm.
I mean, it's public record who has a permit, right?
I don't think it means that we're doing it.
Yeah, I think that's how I read it completely.
The city can promote local services, not that it is from doing that.
It says we actually recognize the value of celebrating by voluntarily publishing.
We publish, and nor would we, because
just take that sentence out.
where do we draw the line in what we are going to publish and not publish, and then
Is the business permit a
comes after
public
that?
record? That
Yeah,
people
they
could
can
just,
grab it.
they could just look it up and see.
I think you go like this.
Do our home businesses want to be recognized?
Uh-oh. Go back and undo what you just did.
Sure, if
Yeah,
I
it's
have a
just a-
massage clinic, do I want it recognized?
I don't know. It depends on who's giving the massages.
And what kind it is. I mean, I would be
Well,
careful.
And the illegal Airbnbs, are we gonna promote the illegal Airbnbs?
So additionally, a
We
city
don't say they
recognizes
can't, so.
the value of celebrating local entrepreneurship. The city can promote local services, or the city may
Yeah, me.
Yeah, may.
promote local services and help neighbors support one another.
Yeah.
This effort not only encourages commerce, but also strengthens the community's social fabric.
Like that?
Yeah, I
Thank
like
you.
that one.
Look at Brian, he's like a book editor.
I've got a ton here, guys. I'm sorry. This thing read awful to me. A lot of it.
Hell, at night, he has time.
Oh no,
Love it.
this was all in the last couple of hours because I'm trying to rush through it because I've been too busy.
Keep going,
Keep going.
we're waiting.
All right. The next section, it says community events such as Woodland Hills Days and Maple Fest play a unique and important role in the city's economic development. Really? Come on, folks.
Well, I'm pretty sure the word there is, we do sell booth opportunities.
No, we don't.
Yes, but it's not an important role in any way, shape, or form.
Play a unique and important role in the
Unique?
city's culture.
Yeah, city's culture.
It's a unique, but it's
In the
not
city's
important to the
culture.
city's economic development. So yes, I love that change. Thank you.
It's culture.
I don't know how to word it, but I know it's not working right.
How about that?
Yeah, city's
I like
culture.
it.
I like that. Next.
If you go down a couple sentences, traditional, commercial, and retail, comma, local events that generate, get rid of that.
That generate?
Local events generate value by drawing visitors and creating opportunities, not local events that generate value. That's how I read it. So
So you take the that out. Did you put the that in?
Uh-uh.
Oh, okay. We don't want to offend you if these are your edits and he's.
I did not edit anything. I am a graphic designer only in some regards. This is a planning commission document, a community development document, and a
Local
city
events
council
generate
document.
value by drawing visitors and creating opportunities. Okay, city will continue to promote. Keep going.
okay, the next one I have is the next paragraph where we deleted while not an official city-sponsored event and left in an official city-sponsored event. You don't have to say it because you're not saying it for Woodland Hills Day. So Maple Fest highlights the city's natural environment.
Yeah, because we already said it over here, that's
Yeah.
community events, and so, yeah, I don't think you have to put official city sponsored. I don't know how I didn't pick up on some of this stuff. I've read it so many times, but
Sometimes
Because
that's
you're too close to it.
yeah,
You really are.
okay.
What else? All right. Under public opinion,
public
I'm
opinion.
yeah, that next big section. Instead of residents, can we just say respondents? Because it still leans toward, in my mind, still leans towards all the residents when it's just it's the poll upon respondents.
Does anybody have any issue there?
No,
Next, past potential, I would delete new growth. So it's just to bring commercial development into the area.
I think though, we were looking at the new growth area because the rest of it is just zoned residential. We
but
don't
it's-
have any space.
It's not, I mean, it's already there. It's not area that we have got new plans for. That's just my opinion. We can keep it in there. That's just my opinion.
Keeping new growth in. Because it's
Well, it
along
does
the
say
two.
near 11 to 100.
Yeah, but it's still, those are the people, in people's mind, it's new.
In my
new
mind,
places.
it's Woodland Hills. It's not, we're bringing something new into Woodland Hills. It is Woodland Hills, still part of it.
Yeah, but it's still considered new growth. It's not the people who've been here for 50 years.
That would be a common way.
Yeah.
Ted says that's a common way to do it, is new growth.
I'm fine. Again, I'm telling you my thoughts on it.
Oh, you're good.
Next one is going down. Unless you got anything, you got yours to fill in there. You got some changes.
We do your changes along the same as his changes?
Yeah, we can go with these next.
Right.
Changes.
But on
Planning
public opinion, there was that one that had developments.
I'm gonna just make the red changes unless you guys disagree with them and we discuss them, okay?
Okay,
But I wanted to make sure you guys saw the community development groups
yes.
and then the planning commission's edits. That's what the red is saying. So if you're okay, we'll adopt the planning commission's edits unless you guys want the original text.
I don't think I had any issue with those planning commission edits.
Yeah, because they're very minor.
Anything here, Brian?
Yes. The first full paragraph, it says Woodland Hills receives relatively small amount of tax revenue. It should read of sales tax revenue. Because that's what we're talking about specifically.
I'd agree, okay?
Nothing else on that page.
I'll edit that later. Anything here, anybody?
All the changes to the other parts.
Number 2's like wiped out.
Well,
Yep, so
Yeah.
this will turn into 2 here and we'll delete it. Anything here?
rentals and the parade entry, okay. Yeah, it does show that our revenue streams are very small if it's the $10 booth rental.
It's big money.
Mayor,
Yes,
before you go on to 8,
yeah,
there was an insert that I apparently didn't provide to you.
okay,
I didn't want to interrupt Ryan there. It's on page 75 with a picture of the Maple Fest. It's under supporting local festivals and events as economic and social drivers. The insert would be between the first and the second paragraph,
okay,
and it would read this way. The city is a home for a growing number of artists and sculptors, some of which have galleries outside the city. Once or twice a year, those who wish to participate host open houses to showcase their talents and artistic products. This brings both local and non-local individuals into the city and further puts Woodland Hills City on the map. That was discussed by the planning commission and suggested that be included as another type of event within the city.
okay. That's my technical way of saying that.
The only thing that I was thinking, because Woodland Hills Day and the Maple Fest also bring people in from outside of our city. So do we need to say that with this as well? I mean, do we need to put that part in, or just that this is another event that is hosted in our city, but we don't sponsor that, but it does, people in our city go to it.
I think it's part of Woodland Hills Days, isn't it?
No, they do it different times.
The art festival?
It's separate, but they do it with Woodland Hills Days oftentimes.
Sometimes they change it around because it's their private thing, but,
Well, lately they've been doing it with the last
Right.
few years, but it's not necessarily a part of it. We just help promote it and advertise for them.
but what I'm saying is I don't think we need the language that says people in and out of the city. I think we just say, like we did the other two, just this is a cultural event in the city.
I don't know. I think that we're talking about bringing visitors in for the other ones. Why wouldn't we say this is, and this is not a city sponsored one?
Right, but what I'm saying is that we don't specifically say we're bringing in other people on the other
Yeah,
two.
we do.
So if we are putting it in, we just say all of them, people
Yes,
come
we
in.
do.
Right, but I'm just saying, we don't need to, again, specifically say for this event that we bring people in, because it's already there. We don't have to say it twice.
Once I get it all in, I can take a look at it.
And then you'd have to change that with both events. You'd have to say all events,
Could you say events?
or events, yeah.
Help me here.
On the right, that sentence right above envisioning potential commercial growth, it's cross out both and we can capitalize events.
And they play whatever thing.
Yeah, there you go.
Right there.
Events serve as, because there's then there could be more events or less events.
Right,
Because who's saying that your Santa is not an event? Or
Right.
That
it's
brings
more
in
an
a lot
event
of
than maybe
people.
some of these
Uh-huh.
other ones. Fire Expo,
Well, and the Fire Expo and the trunk or treat,
yeah.
all the things.
yeah.
Okay, Wayne, I'll get the rest of that from you tomorrow.
Fine.
Okay? We're still good here?
Yeah.
Okay, let's jump to chapter 8.
Chapter 8,
Water preservation and natural environment.
fine, we don't have anything on this first part, do you?
No, I don't. I don't for quite a while. I think the edits were good and they did a good job with it for the most part.
Does anybody have any
Right.
thoughts on chapter 8?
The spot where it says, "Did you know?" Go up again, Mayor. So I'm reading this, and maybe I'm reading it wrong, but this talks about the Payson Ranger Station, and while it is above Woodland Hills, it isn't just Woodland Hills. This reads down there in the bold, Woodland Hills residents tend to use more water in drought years and less water in rainy years. Maybe it could say local residents or area residents, because this is like calling out Woodland Hills residents, and I don't think that's fair.
Woodland Hills general plan.
I get that, but I don't. What it's saying is the graph is telling us that Woodland Hills people use more water in the drought years.
I think
Yeah,
you don't
what's the-
really need to
You
say
need to state it. That's,
Yeah, I don't-
state Woodland
I would say
Hills.
that's true for every
Everyone.
other
I
state.
think
or-
it's true for everywhere, but the data that they're pulling from doesn't just apply Woodland Hills. The
So what
data
if
they're pulling, I would just take
Just take the whole sentence.
residents, remove Woodland Hills, and just leave it as residents tend to use more water.
Less is more.
Yeah. What if we just delete it, Brian?
I'm fine with that. But actually, I think it's a good point, to be honest with you, that people actually use more water in drought years,
I do
which
too.
makes sense.
So put it in, well, you don't even have to put residents, you could just put people. Because if you were saying it applies to everyone,
No,
not just our city.
Residents tend to use more water in drought years and less water in rainy years, which
So I think leaving residents in
Okay.
there, just because then it makes it,
Yeah,
Does it need to be
I want people to
bolded?
take this personal, this plan.
I'm just wondering why,
Yeah.
why are we having it in bold?
yeah, let's.
Like, why are we calling it out as like an anomaly?
It's a pretty big conservation concept, but
Yeah.
It is a big one. Yeah.
No, I guess I get it, but what we're saying is that we're not giving commentary. We're telling you what the data says, right? And the data is when it's not raining, people have to use more water to keep their lawns green. When it does rain, they don't have to use as much water to keep their lawns green. Apply that to every city in America, and it's true.
it's true.
So that's why I'm saying, I don't understand why we're trying to say, look,
Well, because most people won't read this, but they might look at the graph and then see the bold and say, oh yeah, I'm using too much.
What if I do that? I don't know if you can see.
and that's.
I don't know. I guess I get,
And that's not always true. When you get into drought years, there are some communities that go into conservation mode.
Oh, yeah, some have already
Because
done
of
that.
the lack of water, so they'll actually use less water. Where in rainy years, sometimes they don't turn off their sprinklers,
yeah.
or they
Fair.
forget, so they'll use a little more water, so. I think what
broadly.
they're trying to say here is that conservation is important.
Yes.
And we gotta keep that in mind as we're looking at drought years, when you have dry years, you should be using more water, is the point.
Sure.
You should actually be cutting back.
Sure.
And so I think it's a valid point, whether it's bold or not
Can we,
is up to you, but.
can you just use conservation to,
And I
because
think
you're
that,
encouraging conservation, right?
I think they're just using the data from the SNOTEL to say that the SNOTEL site's telling us that this is what happens.
I think there's a little bit of a shock. People will read it and say, well, that makes sense, but there's also some
Yeah.
shock value to it.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
well, and yeah, because you're right, other cities have already put their conservation there's no watering outside at all.
Since it's bolded, you're now thinking about it more.
We all noticed.
Okay, anything else up here?
Not on that one.
Okay. Anything here?
I do have a couple here, of course.
Okay,
On the right, the page on the right, 85, it says weather models anticipate decreased annual precipitation. That's not true. It's not fact. Matter of fact, precipitation in northern Utah for most models are actually showing in the future that we'll have higher precipitation. We'll have lower snow and more rain, but northern Utah should see higher based on the modeling. So that is not fact.
Well,
I don't know about
we
that.
just had a
I
discussion.
do. Look it up.
I was in a big water meeting today, and the form of the way precipitation will be coming is they're saying is changing more to rain, but doesn't necessarily mean we may not get less. And to me, I think they're quoting weather models there.
Yeah.
So I would say.
There's tons
let's
of
check,
them.
because let's check and see what their source is for that before we change it.
Yeah, because I've got weather models that are showing northern Utah will see a slight increase in total precipitation and southern slight decrease.
Are you talking just this year?
No, this is future. This is 10-year future.
Brian, and I think that, I mean,
I think
that
you're making a
data
point
center
there.
up north is gonna change that because it's gonna generate a bunch of heat.
Yeah, I think let's confirm.
It's gonna
that.
change
Um,
that.
And
Because I think they're
I'm
making
not-
a point there that's a valid point.
I can understand that, but I don't want to say that this is a fact when there are conflicting.
Let's find out if they got their data first, and then that'll help us.
somebody online has their hand raised, but you can't see it, so,
But I don't,
I'm not taking comments right now.
okay.
Okay.
So on the next paragraph, the decreased usage, back up there. So it says reductions in lot and household size, including multifamily development, as one of those points. I don't know that that's really on the table. Is that on the table for the rest of the council, multifamily developments and smaller lot sizes than we have? I don't feel that's the case. I think that should not be there.
I don't think that will decrease usage either. The more homes you
Well,
slam on.
it does, because you get multifamily homes and the Ted, you know the numbers. If you have multifamily homes, like the outside, the landscaping is the same as a single family home, and you've got more populace in it. So it actually does reduce, and smaller
Yeah,
lot sizes
I
produce
understand what you're
more
saying.
property. Yeah. So
I don't think that applies to Woodland Hills though, because I
I
don't think
don't either. I think it should be deleted.
our larger lots actually end up using less
Less
water
water.
because we're not watering them.
We're not,
Yeah.
well, we're not, at the top half are not, landscaping and planting grass on their whole 1 or 2 acres. Now, down below,
But
where it's
nobody has
already.
1 or 2 acres down below.
But down below right now, that's zoned agricultural right now, but it could change to
some
something
of
else depending on what somebody does. And if it is because it's flat with no trees, people would tend to put in grass. So if we did ever make those, if the landowner petitioned to have smaller lot sizes, we couldn't say you can't plant grass because we wouldn't want weeds there either. So it's a potential, I think that there is a potential for us someday to have smaller lot sizes or depending on zoning of the state, if they ever require that. I don't think that we'll do multifamily development, but I don't know, we might have a twin home or something. I don't know, or if they do a 50 community.
I don't know about the rest of the council, but I wouldn't vote for it. Period. So
Yeah.
in my mind, neither one of those are on the table.
Ordinance.
Yeah, I would think about it a little bit, because sometimes I was in a 3-hour South Utah County water planning meeting today. And something that continually came up is policy changes that sometimes we don't have effect on, or we don't have control of.
Right.
For
But the
example,
state says
ADUs.
it.
Yeah.
That was a big discussion today. Now people start adding second houses basically to their lots that's got to be serviced with water. That basically changes the whole game for water usage, right?
Yeah.
So what I think we got to be careful of is, remember, this is a general plan that thinks about the future. And I think we want to make sure that what we have in here is certainly guiding our direction, but not closing the doors on things that could happen that we may not have control on. Because we want to keep those in mind and keep thinking about them. Now, reductions in lot and household size, that's probably going to, we'll have some control over that. What lot sizes we allow, and multifamily development. For now, that stuff, that we have control over, but you don't know what could change. And I think as we go about the future, we just want to think about that. Keep that in mind, that sometimes we don't always have control over what we're asked to do. And we want to make sure we're planning for that because, like I said, that's what came up today in our meeting was now we're dealing with ADUs and that basically adds a whole nother water use to our lots. And so what plans we've made historically just go out the window now.
Right.
And now we're going to start over.
Because even if you have 1 acre, you have your house, you have an ADU, that's 1,000 square feet or whatever, that's almost like having 2 homes on a half acre each. And so it's not, although it's technically still 1 acre lot, it's 2 half-acre lots?
Well, I guess to Brian's point, and I agree with him, and make sure I say this right, Brian, this is saying a decreased usage. So a strategy in decreasing the water usage, this is saying by us reducing lot size and household size, you know, including multifamily development. And you're saying actually by decreasing lot size, let's say by adding an ADU, because we're saying now putting
Well, that's not
two.
decreasing, that's keeping the same lot size by adding more
Correct,
use.
but we're splitting it, quote unquote. We're not gonna actually subdivide it, right? There's still gonna be the same plot. I'm just saying,
So
this doesn't say what I feel you just said.
well,
Right.
so studies show that reducing your lot sizes and household sizes do decrease water
Right,
usage.
because you're only gonna have maybe 2 bedrooms or 3 bedrooms and not 10.
Yeah. So
Am I-
that statement has backing to it. I mean, it's not.
I
like
just don't
that's
feel
true.
it has backing in Woodland Hills.
I don't know, maybe not.
Because
So I'm
if
saying
we're
is we don't
dropping
know.
it on
Again, it's the general plan.
natural brush, all
So,
we actually did was increase the water usage because now we have a house there that's going to be using water. Before that land didn't use water. Right? Because now if we put it on a lawn where a lawn used to be, yes, we are going to decrease
or a
usage.
farm,
Or
Yeah.
a farm.
All
which is
that
what we've got, all that. active.
11,200 is all
Putting
farmland.
smaller lots and smaller households will decrease usage because of watering ag land. So
Yeah, okay.
whether you put it in there or not, it's up to you guys. I'm just
I
trying to give
think we
you.
should keep it.
Plus the home keeps a huge.
Be careful about considering everything today that we're doing when you're looking at general plan.
Because also,
Sure.
this also helps us in another way, although we might never do it, because it's in the plan, and if somebody, meaning the legislature says, well, you guys don't even allow this, we could say, well, our general plan says that if in the future comes, we're ready, but it's not now. We all know it's probably never gonna happen, but at least we can show that we thought about it.
Yeah. Brian?
Yeah, but someone could come to us and say, you guys said you were gonna consider lot size reductions to reduce water usage. And so I've been forced to vote certain ways because of what's in the general plan, and I think this is wrong. I do not want to use lot size or multifamily development to adjust or to decrease water usage. I
You know
don't
what?
want.
I don't think that, I don't know how to say this.
You may not have a choice.
Yeah.
You've got to be.
I don't disagree, but if it's not in there and the state regulates that we have to do it, that doesn't say that we're not going to do it because it's not in our general plan.
But Brian, we also can't function out of fear afraid of what somebody might say or what somebody might object to. We have to do what's best.
Well, and I think that having it in there shows that we have good faith, that we're thinking of the future, whether or not we do it or not. It doesn't mean that we have to zone.
We're
I
not
mean,
committed
right
to
now, any homeowner can come to us and request a change in zoning.
Well, and
That's
keep
part
in
of our
mind, this is something we're not
ordinances.
saying we're doing.
Yeah, we're not.
These
It's
are
just,
ideas on, they're giving us ideas on how we can decrease water usage.
right.
So as we start looking at all the ways in
This is-
30 years, how we decrease our water usage, this may be something they'll be looking at that time.
Is this not a plan?
It doesn't commit us to anything. It's just saying some ideas on how you can decrease your water usage.
And conservation right now is a huge topic in our state.
Yes, I understand that, but this is a plan. This is a city's plan. And if it says I plan to reduce water usage by reducing lot size and allowing for multifamily homes,
Doesn't say
then
that.
It doesn't say that.
This says factors.
It is to decrease water usage.
These could impact.
I'm not saying I'm not gonna vote for the thing if you leave it in there. I'm giving you my opinion.
Love it. Okay, let's keep going though. Okay, anything here?
Yeah, number 4, when we've got installed drip irrigation, replace Kentucky bluegrass. Now, if this is stuff that the city's going to do, then we need to decide for that. If it's encouraged, like the first point was, then I say we say encourage on all of these.
Well, it
Well,
does,
title.
the first sentence says the city may, it says, what does it say?
Can take
Can take. It doesn't say it has to take it. Just, these are some ways, ideas.
It
No,
just says,
what I'm,
Right
they're
here.
bullet points. They're independent. One of them says encourage local.
Do you see right here,
The very
Brian?
top line.
read the top line.
I know.
And switch it to me.
It says methods of reducing water. So it's just giving suggestions of ways that people can reduce water.
But I'm looking at that particular one. That particular one says reduce water use for landscaping, encourage local scape or xeriscape landscaping. Then it says install drip irrigation systems, not encourage installing drip irrigation systems. It says replace Kentucky bluegrass. So that is it the city going to do that, or are we going to encourage people to replace?
These are just suggestions.
Listen, you're not. It needs to be the same format.
I think it
One of
is.
them says encourage, then they all should be encouraged.
I just think that this is a list of ideas that citizens may or may not use.
No,
And if we get to a point where we're required to
that's not how
reduce,
it reads, Carrie. It reads that we're going to encourage people to do one of them, and the rest of them we're going to do.
Yeah, I think maybe the fastest way, I think I hear what you're saying, Brian. Maybe what we do is we just put, in the top says reduce water usage for landscaping. You can just put methods to reduce water used in landscaping, and then remove the word encourage on that first bullet, and just put local scape. And then that way, those are all ways that you can reduce water.
we have
That would
methods
work.
at the top, the very first word of this whole thing is methods of
Right.
reducing water. So all of them are methods.
Yes.
Yeah, but one of them is doing something, and one of them is encouraging other people to do something, Carrie. You're
No,
not
I'm talking
hearing me.
about the main title of the
You're
whole section.
not hearing me.
Okay, I'm sorry.
One is saying you're going to encourage residents to do something, and the very next point says you're going to do something. It didn't say encourage. Now it's
think
a possible method,
We don't
right?
agree with your interpretation.
Yeah,
I
because
think that's where we're.
Well, yeah, it's English.
Well, exactly. And we're saying up here at the beginning, it
I get
says
that. I get that.
these 5 bullet points are actions the city may take, thus making them all possible things we could do, though not required.
At this
Yeah.
point, they're not required, but they could be required. I mean, this
I'm
data
not saying they're
starting
required.
in the
So-
future.
Does this help? Right?
That
Number 4,
helps. Thank you. Yes, it helps.
is water used for landscaping, local scape, install drip, replace Kentucky, reduce. So they're all now possible. So that meets your point.
Perfectly.
Perfect. Okay, next.
good job, Ben.
Well, I love your passion, brother. Keep it going.
So in number 6, it talks about review ordinances, policies about street trees to ensure it promotes water efficient and native trees. We don't have street trees. Matter of fact, we require people to prune them back a certain distance per our code. I don't know that that's necessary.
Keep in mind, we still haven't completely developed, so
Yeah.
That is true.
consider as we continue to build
So
out.
we could do somewhere. We could do.
We don't have them now, but it could be something that could happen in the future.
You're
Because
you're
the
right.
flat land
Absolutely.
on the base, the bottom might require to get a few trees. Who knows?
You're right. 100%. I agree with you.
Perfect. Next.
I'm way down now.
Perfect. Anybody else? Okay, anything on this page?
I do not.
We don't want to ring the bell on night sky? Sorry, couldn't resist. Anything here?
It says night.
Not that one. Wait, street, this looks different. Where's the Chipper Days section? Is it further down?
Possibly.
Yeah, maybe I'm much further down. Okay.
Community
There's,
Chipper Days, 91.
91, yeah.
Okay, here's 91.
No, it's right here, Ben.
So it is shifted, format's shifted on.
Yeah, something shifted on it.
Yeah, this is,
Oh, look, go up, maybe then. Where'd it go? Or did it get deleted?
it didn't get
It's probably covered by your
flows.
wildfire mitigation objectives and strategies.
It should be right above there. It's just missing.
So my question is, and this applies to that and the little chart there. So it says that we host annual community Chipper Days, which we do, but what happens if we don't get the grants that we use for that or have extra funds to do it in the future? We want to kind of word it as, does our best to host Chipper Days. And Ted, I'm gonna kind of lean towards you because you get the grants for that.
Well, so it's actually a county thing. We don't, it's Chipper Days is something they come and do. It's not grant money we get. They meet, there's CWPP funding. So, I mean, it's saying Woodland Hill hosts Chipper Days, which is a present tense verbiage, which is not untrue. We do host them. But if we want to change it to Woodland Hills may host Chipper Days, that'd be fine with me.
I don't want to tie us into something that we feel that we don't have the funding for. Does that make sense? I'm just kind of concerned with that.
I think it's a present day or present tense verbiage, meaning we do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that commits us to anything in the future, but if you want to put may host Chipper Days, that's fine too.
Does it help with our wildland interface ordinances and the new law that just came out from the state to have that as listed so that that it helps with their formulas or anything that we actually are actively mitigating? Because I know that the insurance,
Match dollars.
Yeah.
But it doesn't, it's not going to mapping with House Bill 48.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't lock us into anything.
Well, Brian, the old plan has a trail all around the city that doesn't exist, a bunch of other things. So
I haven't had to vote on that. I don't want
none
to
of
have to
it
vote on
locks us in,
something.
I don't think.
Okay.
These are all ideas to think about as we grow in the future.
They're just things we want. This is like a wish list.
I like that we have it in there, that we have Chipper Days, because we're not going to be here forever. And it helps people as they come in to recognize that this has been a long-standing tradition for over a decade or so that we've done this. And we wouldn't want to just say, well, it was a may, because our residents kind of count on it. And we usually,
Yeah,
and I say we when I mean Ted usually figures it out.
Yes, but what happens when Ted's not here and the city is in a dire straits with money and that's what I'm asking. I get if Ted says it's not locking us in, I'm happy with that. But if we're not in a spot where we do it.
I
Yeah,
think it's a present tense verbiage. It's saying we currently do.
I don't know
I
about
don't
the
know if it's
grants.
saying we will continue.
I don't like the part about the grants. I just think may.
Yeah, because it's not really a grant that we have to do this. It's just collaborating with the county.
If we stop doing it, we amend the general plan.
Yeah. It doesn't lock us in anything. Like I say, I would say there's a lot of things in the old general plan that never came to fruition. It's a wish
And
list.
that's why we want to do the strategic plan along with it, so that there's actionable items associated with this.
That
100%.
locks us you into something then.
Which I think in some cases is
That's good.
well,
Okay.
strategy that tells you how to.
Anything here on these goals?
Is the,
Cluster developments, is that, I mean, well, again, I'm not against cluster developments, but I guess that's just as I mean, when we say consider them, I guess that's if someone brings it to us, yes?
Consider.
Where are you?
that would most likely be the
Be-
scenario.
Number one, be number one, right there. So it says consider cluster developments or conservation easements. I don't,
Maybe
it's not our land.
a development agreement too, because, you know, like Summit Creek, they have areas that are clustered, smaller lot size clustered, even though their overall density remains the same. So that might be what it's like, is if we consider having like all along 11200, maybe we would do more clustered so that it's just not all one big lawn area.
And considers an extremely loose term.
Yeah.
That's what I'm kind of rereading there.
And we have discussed a conservation easement for the switchbacks. So,
Okay. Any issue here with these goals? This goal 3, A and B.
Nope.
Okay, chapter 9. 2 more to go. Anything there?
we need a new sign.
Yeah. See what it
I
is.
like this.
It was an Eagle Scout project.
I know, but those don't last forever.
I think it's like 20 years old, isn't it? Yeah.
It's just old.
Okay.
Okay, the 9, yeah, they're on the left under existing conditions. Can we add volunteers into the group? So it says relies on a combination of municipal systems, private enterprises, and contract services, but we also rely on volunteers as well. I think that's
We do.
important to put that in there.
Page 96.
Yeah, I'm just
And
looking,
then-
I see volunteers later so by that, but I see where you're putting that in.
Yep, and then the city provides some sewer and full culinary. I don't know how, I don't know. That's not a big deal. That was just some points there.
Okay.
I don't have anything till emergency services, so you got a minute.
Okay, anything here from the 3 of you?
Yeah, this is pretty generic,
Yeah.
Okay.
except for, yeah.
Emergency services.
All right, second paragraph, it says seeking to replace vehicles every 15 years and 10 years. And that's, again, we just got rid of an engine. So I would say seeking to maintain a certified first response fire engine.
Wasn't that some of your language too, Ted, about when to replace them, just so that people are aware more of a timetable, like, because we don't know that it needs replaced until the fire chief starts mentioning it, but if it's in the plan that you can say, oh, about every 10 years or whatever they do, wasn't that
Which
suggestion?
you can say 10 years.
What I suggested was that when I talked to Daniel Bass, I said we replace these to comply with NFPA,
Yep,
which is generally every 15 years.
yeah. So we can just be put between vehicles and put generally.
Is that a double L or a single L?
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
go back, it's a misstatement here under internet service. Summit Creek is serviced by CenturyLink, not Centricom.
Yeah.
What page is that?
It's on page 98,
98.
Is all Summit Creek.
right there.
They're not serviced by Century County.
No, Summit Creek all has Centricom.
They are?
Yeah, their whole entire development is Centricom.
Okay, my mistake.
But page 27, you refer to GPS tracking as well, and we don't have GPS
Where?
tracking.
Right here above I saw it.
That's it. Yeah, and I read that too, Jody, and that is a
99.
possibility. Those are things that we could think of. These efforts may include. So yes, we don't have it, but could do that again.
Well, and
Well,
we at one time thought
We don't want to
would-
lock us into that.
that we would have that just on the
But it's a may
snowplows.
include.
I know, I'm just teasing you, Brian.
I know you are.
I'm poking you. I gotta poke the bear.
Once again, it's an idea. Other cities do this a lot.
Yeah,
Helps them make more efficient. Will we ever do it? Likely not. But when I talked to Daniel about this, it was, we could keep it in there as an idea for the future, but that's why the may is there. Don't know that we would ever really need it here. 'Cause our routes aren't that complicated.
Just commentary on just this picture of the engine is 192. That's the one that's out the door. I don't know if you want to update it
Probably have to
to
switch that out for 191.
Okay,
just,
I
I mean, again, it's
agree.
not a big deal, but just, I noticed that.
Okay, Santa.
We're kissing 192 is a left.
and the roundabout picture is gonna need to be changed too.
Yeah, that's true.
In the mailbox. But I like that angle. Did you take that? Or somebody else?
I did not.
He stood out in the middle of traffic and risked it.
I just like that the mailboxes and the mountain and the clouds. And flagpole.
Yeah, I'm gonna make that border really ugly, so I remember to do something about it.
Okay, so the next changes I have in that same area there, Mayor, and Ted, you can, definitely chime in, but the way this is worded, says the city purchased a new engine in 2023. As of 2025, the department owns 2 brush trucks. This includes a heavy brush. Okay, that's all changed. That's all different. So if you include the heavy brush, there's 3 brush trucks, including the heavy brush truck, one designed for extended fire operations in off-road areas. It also
2 brush trucks and the water tender is actually the brush truck, but.
I know this is the way it's worded, and you can go in and reword this all the way you want to. The 2 brush trucks plus a heavy brush tender, not and a tender. It's a heavy brush truck and a tender. It also serves as a tender.
You could put these. I would just take out heavy right there. This includes brush trucks. This includes brush trucks designed for extended firefighting operations in off-road areas and a water tender. A support vehicle ignore alarm, but that's really what it is.
Brush
We have
trucks.
2 brush trucks. This includes, I wouldn't say brush trucks again. This includes includes maybe apparatuses designed for extended firefighting operations in off-road areas and a water tender.
I have no idea how to spell
Is that apparatus or is it plural apparati?
Don't you dare go there. How do you spell apparatus?
2 P's.
Yeah,
US. APPARATUS.
there you go.
Apparatuses is,
Apparatuses designed for extended and a water tender. That's probably a better way to say that.
This is the most scholastically accurate document ever.
All right.
The next paragraph, and again, you can do this however you want, Chief, but the way this next section is worded about the full-time crew is completely backwards. The city employs a full-time crew to do wildfire mitigation around town. The city has an arrangement where these crew members can be called away to assist national emergency wildfires. It's the other way. We have a crew that can that's hired to do the emergency wildfires, and while they're in town and not deployed, they do fire mitigation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So just put those two sentences.
those two around.
City has an arrangement where crew members can be called away to assist nationally on emergency wildfires.
But again, that's also local, state, and national.
You gotta leave that first sentence. While the city has year-round volunteer firefighting crews, that's gotta be the first sentence in the
Yeah.
paragraph. Just go after volunteer firefighting crew, cut that out, put it as the first sentence.
I've got it worded, Mayor, the seasonal full-time crew is employed to respond to local and national emergencies and performs mitigation efforts around town when they are not deployed. Ted, you like that?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Write that up and send it to me.
Yes, sir. I can do that.
You can even just
And-
text.
Yeah, I'll do that. Now, the next part is where it says helps cover municipal costs. Just delete cover of municipal. Or helps and municipal. This on-call service covers municipal costs or covers costs for the professional crew and equipment. And we could even say it also brings in revenue at the end.
How about that?
That works.
It doesn't
Compensation
always bring in
for
revenue.
On-call
First
services
year it didn't,
planned to
right?
cover
We're
municipal-
we're in the black, sister.
I know we are now.
It all depends on the fire year,
It
right?
depends on the year, though.
Yep, absolutely.
We had 1 year, which was our second year, actually, that we
It was, yeah, there was 1 year that we weren't.
made enough the first year that covered that plus more.
Somebody didn't want to go out on fires.
Okay,
Oh.
law enforcement, anything? City buildings and property? How about these goals?
Yeah, goal 3A, number 2.
Okay.
So if this isn't locking us in, wait a minute, that's not goal 3 down. You're on goal 2.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There we go.
What about
three.
firefighters?
So it says maintain a seasonal full-time wildfire mitigation crew. This isn't guaranteed. Again, Ted is working hard to keep this going, but I don't want to say that we're
Well, as Ted said,
absolutely going to.
It is a goal.
It's a goal.
If it doesn't lock us in, I'm great with it. That's all I wanted to say.
No, this is a goal for us to continue to maintain that full time. Now,
Yeah,
but we
agree.
always-
Okay, perfect. Just wanted to double check that one. Made me nervous.
I don't think it's a commitment, it's a goal for us to do.
Okay, I like it. And that's it for me, Mayor. You guys I'll mute myself.
Okay. Jody, what do you got for me on annexation? Have you read through this? We've learned a lot lately.
We've learned a lot through annexation. I have not.
Okay. Does anybody have any thoughts on chapter 10 from your guys' review?
Well, and some of this is just based on state law anyway, so,
It looks like it's all state code.
yeah, and it's annotate, it's put in there. 10-2-401.5. So I think as long as, if that's ever updated, it will automatically update us.
Okay,
Some of it's not.
We probably need to take another look at that, and we can do so
Okay.
as part of the public hearing to see if there's any misstatements in here. I quickly looked it over a day or so ago, and it was generalities. It wasn't specific as to processes, so.
perfect. I can plan to come to planning commission on that day if we need to make any adjustments. If that
We'll
would be
present this
easiest.
back. There's not gonna be a vote. We'll present this, the changes and everything, back to the council once that
Perfect.
public hearing is held.
Okay. Well, wonderful. Any other thoughts or comments on the general plan side from any of the council members?
Just those red lines that seemed okay when I read through them.
It's interesting because I feel like the chapters that are just pulled in with data don't need as much overhauling maybe as some of the other ones that we,
Yeah, there's less subjectivity about it.
yeah, they
Yeah,
don't seem to have as much. I mean, you can't really.
and the red
argue
lines
data.
just appear to be just a clarification more than substantive of the
Page
message.
107, number 6. That was pulled in incorrectly. It says the UCA code definition, and then it says whose boundaries are within 1/2 of the area proposed for annexation. That's not correct. I
Half
wanna
of the
check the
area.
code.
Half of the proposed for annexation.
So
that
if you
because
have
that's a-
5-acre parcel, are they saying you have to do 2.5 acres of the annexation area? So I don't think that's correct.
But it's defining the code, the state code, so maybe that's the state code.
Yeah, we just went over the state code with.
I've bolded this.
Okay.
And
Just
so
double
let's
check.
take a look at it as I make these edits tomorrow.
Because that's one thing that I asked Daniel to do, is that anything he put in here that had state code, to make sure it was documented as such.
Perfect. Yeah, we'll just double check it. That'll work out great. Okay. If there's nothing else. Wonderful. Okay, and we're going to move on to number 2. If anybody online had any thoughts or feelings during that, I'd love to take note of those. And when we get to the public comment, please let us
I had a
hear
text.
those.
I did too.
Okay.
So you want them to say it during the public comment
I do.
period? Okay.
Yep. Wonderful. Okay. We're going to move on to number 2, proposed accounting service contract. This is a discussion regarding the proposed accounting services contract with Charlene Wild. This is in your packet, correct? We went through, like I talked to you guys about this last council meeting. We interviewed some fabulous potential applicants for this role. And it was not an easy decision, but it really just kind of boiled down to a cultural fit because both their skill levels was exquisite. And so we decided to go with Charlene Wild. For full disclosure, I kind of have been working with her over the last 4 years over at the transfer station, though I'd never met her before. I just pulled the referral from them. And we interviewed her, myself, Lori, Jody, Wayne, sat down with all the applicants, and this is who we felt would be the best fit for the city. Any questions on that? Or concerns?
How many, she doesn't come into the office, right? Because she's working.
She will be coming into the office, at least once a quarter. And she says she'd be happy to join us at a council meeting here and there if needed. So, and she's available. And I know we've discussed this a little bit, Brian, in the past at our last meeting, but if you guys have questions, feel free to give Lori a call first. And if she can't help you, then you guys are welcome to give her a call as well. She's anticipating those types of correspondence.
Could you restate for the public record how much we're saving annually by going this route?
So she is an hourly waged contract at $95 an hour with a 2% increase for cost of living each year. I talked with her and we shifted that not from her year or date of hire, but that increase will happen at fiscal year. So that way it helps with the budgeting. So she agreed with that logic. We're going from around $150,000 with benefits, retirement, healthcare, all of those different calculations adding into that $150,000 down to, on a high end, $15,000. So you can kind of do that math, 120-ish plus $1,000 savings a year from where we were to this. Now, she is not taking on 100% of the duties that our former employee held, but those duties are all being taken care of. And you'll see those reflected in our next item, where there are slight bumps to wages for those increased duties. So, any other questions there?
So when next time you have her in on quarterly, can it be on a day that we have council meetings so we can meet her?
Yeah, so she's in town twice a week, up in Orem. And so she said she'd be more than happy to stop by, so
I
it'd be
think
great.
it would be nice.
Just an introduction.
So, call Lori first, and then if we still have questions, call Charlene.
Yep,
And
yep,
you're
but I
doing-
don't want to bar you guys from calling Charlene.
So did you
guys
send us
can.
her contact information then?
You should have it. It's also Charlene at Woodland Hills
Okay.
-ut.com. I got it right. I got it wrong earlier today. Okay, then let's move on to number 3, the fiscal year 2027 budget presentation. So this is the mayor's budget for the 2027. This is the document that each of you went through, all of the different items that you selected. And we then went to the finance committee for 2 different meetings. And then this is what we kind of compiled as we went through those 3 exercises. So there shouldn't be anything too crazy. I do want to make a few highlights for you guys though, on things that have changed a little bit since you guys saw this last. If you will go to
Give us the numbers.
Yeah.
exactly page, probably I know there's no page.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's no page number.
So go to expenditures.
It was just like 3610 or whatever.
Yep, let's go to account number 4111.6.
Mayor.
Correct.
Oh,
Let me actually see here. Well, actually, let's go to 4111.10. So this is mayor and council wages.
Oh, yeah.
So I've actually proposed an increase of, I wish I had my notes on this here. Let me pull these real fast so that
I have the old one, but I don't have it with me.
I've got them right here. We should be okay, hopefully. Jody, off the top of your head, you remember what I did here? Okay. So this is a proposed increase of $500 a month for the mayor to $600 a month, so a $100 increase, and for each of the council from $200 a month to $300 a month. This is an increase mostly due to the fact that it has not increased for the last 12 years, 13 years, something along those lines.
It's been a long while.
Since I moved here.
It was, I believe the last change was under Mayor Niall Jensen.
That,
No, it was a change because you went from stipend to salary because we had to take into consideration. So there was a slight bump up, but it wasn't,
it wasn't very significant. It still went like from 3 cents to 2 cents, 3 cents to 4 cents.
yeah, I think it went from like, under Toby, it went up a little bit, and then under Steve, it went up a little bit, but not significant.
So that's basically what that difference is from the 18,000 to the 25,200.
Still, nobody's running for this office for the pay.
Yeah,
No,
and everybody should know that when we pay our own travel expense and that comes out of that, which, you know, doesn't last a whole month.
exactly.
Some of us throw events for the city and spend more than that.
You'll also see an increase in the FICA, so the next line item, from the 1,400 to the 1,928. That's just the difference in that increase for the FICA payment. The next one you will see is that 411.600. That is the mayor's expenses, and I've added $1,000 there. Now, the reason for that, so the 500 originally usually comes in a form of a thank you bonus to our staff at the end of the year is typically what that 500 has been used for. The 1,000 increase is for a few initiatives that I'm looking to start rolling out throughout the city, which would be the $1,000 would cover the costs of those basically dessert events for different residents throughout the city that we will rotate through. So that's where those expenses would be going. Any questions there? Okay. Council expenses, we are dropping from the 1,000 down to the 500. That's basically $100 each. And we've really just never used it. Every once in a while.
We don't use it.
Because we also have the 300 in council discretionary. That's typically used for things like flowers sent to funerals for a family member of staff or us or whatever. And so you guys, I want you guys to think about, work together, and let's use that in some capacity to benefit the residents of the city of Woodland Hills. The next thing you will see is the admin. And I pushed these hard onto the finance committee to take a look at and get their thoughts on. I have discussed this slightly with some of the admin and some I have not. I am proposing a 2% cost of living increase for Ted with his wage plus a 2% performance increase for the quality perk. So it's a 4% increase total. That seems to be what is going on with other cities as I've spoken with them for their compensation. Everybody else's is an increase kind of in a different way. Jody's full budget or pay comes out of the general fund, and I'm requesting a 6% raise there due to the additional duties that have been taken on that we discussed earlier with the departure of our former employee.
So it's like 2% cost of living and then
A
4%
raise.
for.
Right, it's really a 2% increase on additional duties, a 2% increase on performance evaluation, and a 2% cost of living.
Okay, thanks for the breakdown.
Lori, this is only 30% of Lori's wage that comes out of this particular fund. And I'm requesting a 2% cost of living, 2% performance, and then, if I do my math right, an 8% increase because she is taking on a significant amount of
And which number
increased duties.
is Lori's compared to Jody's? Or are
This
they
is
all
only
in the same pot?
30% so this is 50% of Ted's wage that's in here, 100% of Jody's wage, 30% of Lori's wage. Okay?
100% Jody and 30%.
And let's be clear, Lori's been doing those extra duties for a long time and not getting compensated for it.
Correct. This is somewhat of a catch-up for years of additional duties that she has not been compensated for.
Mayor, can you give us the breakdown of where the former employee's monies came from, his salaries, so that we can do that comparison as well?
Yes. If that's okay, I will go through that as we get through the budget. Would that work for you, Brian?
Yeah, I just want to know where it came from so we can compare it.
Yes, because now I've stripped all those out of all those different accounts, so it's a little more transparent for us.
Well, let's say the bookkeeper also, I know you did it in finance, but state here how many hours she said it will take to do the job a month.
It'll take her, she said, about 3 hours. Isn't that what you guys remember? 3 to 4 hours a month to do this,
Versus
to do
a
her side of
full-time
things.
employee. But our full-time employees are doing a greater chunk of it. So that's one of the
Yeah,
reasons.
there's a lot more to it than just that. You are right.
But I just wanted to that justifies the raises is what I'm trying to say, is because the
Yes.
employees are taking on so much so that the bookkeeper is only doing so many hours. Sorry, I just know the naysayers hate raises and they hate salaries, so I just want to make sure everything's laid out so
There
it can
is
be
A
understood.
massive decrease in wage expenses for the city
Yeah,
with all these raises.
So
Toby, 50% of, oh, yes, Brian?
where is her, are you gonna tell us where hers is? Which
Yes.
bucket it's coming out of later? Because it's not in professional services, so,
It's not in this line item, correct?
Okay.
thank you.
And I will, once we get there, I will highlight that. So 50% of Toby's wage also is coming out of here. Toby, I have requested, and this is actually back when you guys have already seen this, you've already seen this increase that I requested back then. This is a 2% cost of living increase plus a 3% performance. Toby has come on. Predominantly his need was, or desire was for an insurance package. And the wage was secondary, though he has been an immense asset to our city. And so I wanted to express our gratitude there. He has saved us a lot of money and really increased our quality of service to our residents. So then if you go down FICA on the 2020, or so if you look at the 4141.22, that increase is just the equivalent increases due to the raises, okay?
Okay.
As well as the retirement. Admin health insurance, this drastically jumped from the 16,000 to the 44,000 simply because I pulled it out of all of the other areas this was articulated to.
So it's
it
just
used to
now
be in-
combined, now it's
Used to be in
consolidated.
streets, snowplow, rec, parks, all over the place. And now it's just one place we can easily see it.
Makes sense.
Everything else here, no. Okay.
Was it ever in water or sewer in enterprise accounts?
Yes, we will get there when we get to those. I'll explain those breakouts. Because
Well,
the other 50% of Ted and Toby are in the water fund.
yeah, but you were just saying you moved retirement to, or not retirement. Yeah, for health insurance to general. Was health insurance ever in the enterprise funds?
Yes, I didn't move all of it. I just moved the associated percentages.
Just back to, okay, I just want to keep those in the enterprise funds.
So 50% of Ted's in health insurance, FICA, everything is in the general fund. 100% of Jody's benefits are from the general fund. 30% of Lori's are in the general fund, and 50% of Toby is in the general fund. Okay, so if we keep going down here, if you go down to, I'm seeing it here. 4141.649.
repairs, maintenance.
Correct. You will see, oh, what's going on here? I've got an error. Glad we're seeing this. That budget actually should say 134,000.
For the, where it says under original,
975. Yep.
repeat that.
134,975.
That's a big error.
Yeah.
It is a very big error, which helps me answer some questions. That's why we're going through this. This is what happens when you spend too much time staring at the document.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Okay, please be patient with me while I hurry and adjust that. 134,975. Now, this is all of the different things that you guys decided to vote on, mostly from Jody's request list. Okay?
Yeah,
The only thing that changed on that list that you guys voted on was a wheelchair access ramp, which was $4,000 for the center building. Okay, that includes $2,500, which would be the concrete ramp. And then I'm budgeting another, well, the difference, potentially for handrails. I expect that to come in lower, but that's kind of what that will end up looking like. If anybody has any issues there.
That was a citizen suggestion, wasn't it?
Yes.
well,
Yep.
we've been planning that for a long time and just never were able to get it done
Yeah.
or
And
budgeted
frankly,
for.
we need to, so that we're in compliance and so we can take care of, because we have residents in wheelchairs. So, okay, so that's what that number is. Plus, I had somebody come and look at this side of the building with all the siding problems, the leaking and all that. We're not gonna be able to get away with some duct tape and baling twine. The installation initially apparently wasn't done correctly, completely, and thus we're having the problems. It all has to come off.
It was done with duct tape originally and baling wire.
It started with duct tape. No, I don't want to speak to it because I wasn't involved in that construction.
It's just missing some items that.
There's
should-
some key things. So that's one of the reasons also that's a little bit
It
higher.
was a citizen barn raising basically, and
Well, and this building is now getting to that age where things need to start being repaired.
Yep.
So
Or it's gonna really, if you don't do it, you're gonna have some really big expenses.
exactly.
Can I just say, while that wish list, or not wish list, while that list included things, there may be other things that come up that will have to take place of some of those items. We've got to, today we've got to replace, some dampers.
Not dampers, the transformers controlling the dampers up in the HVAC system. Though
oh,
I spoke with him and that 5,000 in our budget may cover those things. So he's gonna give me a list of what potential repairs may be needed for the HVAC system, and we'll see if these numbers come into alignment there. Okay, with building, so to your question there, Brian, when you get to building, building used to have FICA, wages and insurance in it.
90.
Yep,
yeah, I was wondering which number we were looking at.
4190 no longer holds those wages information.
Okay,
Public safety still mostly is our sheriff's services from the county. Fire, the fire wages, fire FICA and fire retirement are all for the volunteer force. None of that funds goes to TED. Fire fuel reduction, this is predominantly our crew that we talked about during the general plan review. 4225 EMS. These wages are for our EMTs. Animal control, nothing really is changing there. Please stop me if you have any other
I
questions.
mean, they do raise it every year.
yeah, there, I have to do stuff to report on today.
For that wage number?
No,
Or
that's
just in
later
the-
in her report.
Okay, perfect. If that number needs to go up or change.
Yeah,
let
it
me-
will, it does change.
Okay, let me know.
The budget for 2025 is what the actual is.
Is the actual? So it needs to be
For
5,000,
the, for the shelter, yeah.
not the 2,200?
Nope, not the 22.
So it needs to be 5,000.
Oh,
Okay, we'll make sure we can make that happen. Thank you. Okay, roads, so this is now 4410. Here you can see also, we used to have a significant portion of wages, FICA, and retirement as well. Now, those are all zeros. I don't believe there's anything in here that's new. Sanitation, snow plowing. Nothing really there. You'll see also Parks, Recreation, and Public Property, 4510. Those are also where wages, FICA, and retirement used to be. And
And
then
that's all, and that's where you move back 50%, 100%, whatever to general fund out of that, out of those funds.
Yes, yep, thank you. Okay, so now let me give you a new number for your papers here on the very last after the transfers. So that total change in net position,
What number?
it needs to be 49,000.
What, total debt service, that line?
No, that total change in net position,
Total
right
change
here.
in net position. There's nothing there right
Last
now.
page.
Flip the page one more.
Right after 4890.
Yes, right
You'll
after
see, you'll
48.
see an add 3.6 million,
Oh, I see.
153, 351.
Okay, so which one are we changing?
49,876,
For which line?
right here.
Give us a number.
That's
One
it.
that's circled or the one that's underneath? The total
It's the
change in net
net.
position. Okay, so we're crossing out the 153 and putting what?
$49,876. So that is currently what we are above our expenses right now, between revenue and revenue and expenses. So don't get too excited about that. We've got other things that we still are waiting on from a few different entities, kind of like animal shelters. So
Yeah.
we'll wait and find out exactly what that position. But right now, everything's looking pretty good. Enterprise fund, if you jump in here, this is the water fund. There's really not much changing here. The only thing to, Brian, your question there for the enterprise fund, when it comes to wages.
What number are we looking at?
5140.
6606.
Okay, we're moving forward.
Yeah, we're jumping ahead, so that's why I want to make sure that.
No, not 6606. No, you were right.
6110, isn't it?
6110, thank you. So 6110, you're looking at 50% of Ted's wages, 0% of Jody's wages, 50% of Lori's wages,
30% of Lori's.
No,
50% of Lori's wages, and 50% of Toby's wages.
Oh, yeah, because 20 is in sewer, right?
Yep.
Okay, sorry.
No,
So-
you're good.
I just remember.
So should we put Lori back on the sewer page then?
She is on it.
20%?
She is.
She is.
I know, but should we write it in? Because
You can.
you kind of just skipped over that part, so.
No, sewer's next.
Oh,
So there are two new line items in the enterprise fund I want you guys to be aware of.
Mhm.
That is 6605, so actually go back one page. We jumped past it to get to the wages.
6605. Oh, vehicle.
6605 and 6606. These are new line items for this year, and that is a $25,500 payment and a $5,500 payment, and those are payments due to maturity of leases for, I believe that is for the chief's truck, and what's the second vehicle?
Was it the service?
And the service truck. And so that's why those are sitting over here in the water fund, simply because they operate in both general fund capacities and water fund capacities.
Okay.
Okay?
I really like the way this is laid out.
Well, we'll keep getting better. If you have any more opportunities for improvement, let me know. If we jump now, unless you have any questions on the water fund, there's not much really new or different there. If you jump though over to the sewer fund, this is now going to be,
And it's behind, but it's 5150, so it got out of order, but it's okay.
perfect, that helps.
5150.
It's
So
the
it should be
second
your
to last page,
Yeah.
the last 2 pages.
So 5150.
Yeah.
We're actually going to look at 6110, sorry.
Yeah.
That is 0% of Ted's wages, 0% of Jody's wages, 20% of Lori's wages, and 0% of Toby's wages. And the reason we're able to break out each of these wages into these 3 different funds is this is where their time basically is allocated servicing these different funds. And the reason nobody else is really in the sewer is there's not much money in that account, so we have to be somewhat careful. You can see the net number on sewer is 500, or total net
And Lori does the billing for this section.
$378.
Right, Lori does the billing in that.
She does all the billing, yes.
Okay.
Okay. So what I will do next for this budget is I'm going to create the documents that I talked to you about, each of you, and each of you I'm going to assign a different department, and you will have the broken out, so the itemized pieces,
Oh, boy.
and you'll have those once a month. In kind of like an envelope on your desk, and you'll be able to see where we're at in each area. And so you'll see when we have an expenditure, if it comes in less than the budgeted line item, you'll then see the basic credit that we have that we can then reallocate to other items when we open budget, things like that. Okay?
Well, so we each get to be a little watchdog over a section?
Exactly.
Okay. I like
Yep.
it.
And then also we're going to work on getting access for each of you in a read-only capacity on the accounting system. So if you're really interested in that, we can get you hooked up. If you're not, fine.
I
But
think it would be good to just have.
I
an
need to get
overview
it
of
and I haven't done it.
I would
I'll
like to
figure it out.
have a
So-
little overview of it.
yeah, it'll be, there is literally nothing to hide in any of these numbers. So ask any questions that you want. Okay, any questions on that budget?
No, it looks a lot better. It's a lot more simplified,
Mhm.
easier to
And
understand.
very clear.
Well, it helped with what you guys did in the budget process thus far, so thank you. Brian, any questions there?
No, sir.
Okay, then we're gonna go with Ted Mickelson. Engine 192 update.
Oh, should have been those.
Mayor, did you you had no questions on any of the other accounts with your proposal?
I
Went over everything?
didn't hear any. Did you have any questions?
Just wanted to make sure you covered it totally, as this is your first time doing it, make sure you get it covered completely.
I've been sleeping in the budget for now, who knows how long, so.
Engine 192, so engine 192 was sold. Thanks to Brian's efforts and all his wheeling and dealing, we got a really good price for it. Better, I think, than what we had thought we might be able to, and it left the city yesterday. You guys probably don't know, you may know Dora was the fire chief that actually bought that engine. So he got to drive it and load it and say goodbye and gave it a kiss and a hug and everything, and so engine 192 left the city yesterday. We have been paid for the truck, so that money now will be set aside for upgraded ambulance.
Okay.
Who bought it? Just out of curiosity.
It's a, Brian, maybe you can better answer that. Oh, there you go.
Oh, there we go.
That's we should put that one in the newsletter.
That needs to go. Send that to me, Brian.
I can do that. Well, Doro can send it to you. He's want to send it to me. Okay, so what we ended up doing is I went to multiple avenues and worked on pricing and things like that. There were some companies that will list it for you, kind of like an auto trader type of thing, but for fire trucks. They take a 10% cut. And I reached out to one company, it's called Command Apparatus out of Pennsylvania. And what they do is they buy good fire trucks. They take them, go through them completely, get them re-ready for first line apparatus. So Ted can explain that a first line apparatus has to be certified in the last 10 or 15 years and things like that. And it helps keep your ISO ratings down. Well, they get them recertified for that. And then they resell them to departments who are looking for used rather than new, but new to them. And so it's going to go to another department that can use a 4-wheel drive engine. And it's a really good engine. So we got a good deal out of it. And they took care of everything. They sent the check. We got it deposited. And so, as you can see here, Doral was able to send it off with a kiss. He is probably the most attachment to that truck. I mean, it is the truck that most of us learned on, which does mean a lot to us. But Doral did drive it back from Florida, spend a lot of time in that truck, and so I was glad that we thought about having him take it down to load it up. So it was a good thing for us.
Thanks for that, Brian. I left a note under the passenger seat
Did you?
pleading with them to text me the final entity where it ends up, because I'd like to know where it is. It's on the road to Pennsylvania right now where this company is, but it could end up anywhere in the US.
Oh.
Cool.
And then I'll go get it and bring it back.
You are attached.
Doral's the inevitable buyer of this fire truck. We could have sold it, you know. We could have
To
cut
you
the
directly.
I'd have had a bigger garage, yeah.
You're still sharing, Brian.
Oh, he's getting another. Oh, he has a note.
That's beautiful.
That's it. Wow. Gee.
Oh, that's great.
I love that.
Gee. Careful sending Brian stuff.
You should have put an Apple AirTag in there. I thought my Jeep
Oh,
was.
that would have been a good idea.
Then you could have followed it, seen where it went.
I trust the new chief will tell me.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
There were teardrops on that note, so I hope that'll help. And I'm glad I got to take
Anything
it.
else there?
Dan Roden should have been with me because he rode it. When it
Yeah, that
came
was
to
the
the
very
city.
first Santa on a fire truck was that year.
That-
We had the new,
First time the truck came to the city, he rode up the hill of Santa
yeah,
on the top.
Yeah.
sweet. That was sweet.
Oh, beautiful. Anybody else have anything else for the fire truck 192?
Oh, I just think that we should have a little article about it with pictures.
I agree.
You send me some.
Okay, then we'll go with number 5, city grant updates. We'll start with you, Chief.
So the FEMA grant for our assistant firefighter, Homeland Security got funded. Therefore, FEMA got funded, and I got an email over the weekend saying we should get our grant check for the assistant firefighter grant here within the week. So we hope to have that one soon, finally. So we got funded for that one. We haven't heard from Burgess Owens and probably won't for a while on our waterline grant. And then the other one we have is the Utah Outdoor Recreation Grant for the pickleball court. I'll read you an email I got just late this afternoon, hot off the press. The Utah Division of Outdoor Recreation is pleased to inform you that your organization, Woodland Hills, has been approved to receive a fiscal year 2026 Community Parks and Recreation Grant.
What? Are you serious?
That's awesome.
So
That's incredible, guys.
Sherry Berger, did you hear that?
Yeah, do you have anything to say, Sherry? I'll let you talk for this one. You did so much work on it.
Just a minute.
She's checked out.
She has to unmute.
Does it give a value already, or are they gonna?
yeah, they our full request of $83,177.50.
Terry probably passed out.
That's amazing.
So that when will we be able to start that then this summer?
We have 28 months to use it. We can't start until we get our contract signed. They'll be sending us a contract within the next 2 weeks to sign. And once we sign it and the state signs it, then we can start using the funds.
And the match can be in kind, right? Or part of it, most
Part
of
of
it?
it can be in kind, and then
Okay.
part of it, we have some balance of funds from our snowplow and stuff like that we're gonna put towards this too.
Yay.
But
Since we didn't plow a lot.
since we didn't plow, we had a lot of plow money left over that we can put some match towards it as well, so.
Awesome. So it's gonna happen.
It sounds like it's gonna happen.
Sounds like another
yeah.
article.
I know.
And requesting the volunteer hours.
So, anyway, that's an update on the grants.
That's amazing. Look at
Okay.
that. Now you just gotta get the water one and look at you.
Yeah, that one maybe a little while. We've also got a MAG one outstanding. That one's a little less hopeful for the trail.
Yeah.
We're about 19th on a list of 30. So it just depends on how far the money, they ranked us, well, we did a ranking and our project ranked 19th out of 30. This tends to always go more towards northern Utah County communities because they're experiencing the higher growth. However, it just now depends on how far the money goes. So they just start with number one and they just start allocating the money till they run out. And we should know by 1st of June where that
Okay.
ended up.
Awesome.
Okay.
Well, I mean, get that man a helicopter now.
No, that's not what we just talked about.
Oh, it's not
That was
on
not
here.
in the budget, sorry. Okay, departmental updates. Community development, public works, fire department.
I don't have a lot on the community development, public works side. Just an FYI, we are participating. I was in a meeting today for about 3 hours with all of South Utah County municipalities and Central Utah Water Conservancy District. We are doing as a combined group a South Utah Valley water planning study. And it's really looking at all of South Utah County out to the year 2100 and what that might look like for water planning. So we're participating in that study. It's anticipated to take about a year and a half to do this study. So pretty comprehensive. The hope is at the end of it, when we come out of it, we actually have action items for our community out of this list that will help us plan for our water future. So working on that. I don't know they have a whole lot of other updates. We're still not certain when the paving project will start. We kind of put it in their court. It'll probably be July when we'll start redoing that phase 3 of the pavement project. That's all on the community development side. And then the fire side, we did meet with, I don't know if you guys are aware, we've been talking with the state about turning one of our old still water tanks that we haven't used for years into a dip tank. There is a fire helitack crew the state has stationed in Spanish Fork Airport. And so we met with the helitack crew, we met with the state fire warden, went up there and looked at it, and they were just loving the idea. It is also one of our mitigation strategies we've had on a list for a long time with our CWPP, our Community Wildfire Preparedness Plan. So we started looking at one of the old still tanks up there, and rather than tear it out, maybe put it to use as a dip tank. Everyone loved it. So we had met with an engineer up there last week. They're going to put us together a little proposal just to see what it might take and if it is actually something that is viable. It's in good enough condition to do that. So
How does that work? Does it have like a retractable top component or?
no, really, we would
Open.
just fill it in it would have an open top, not closed, and we would fill it in the spring and just let the water sit in for the summer and then late fall, drain it before
But
winter.
what about leaves and things and debris that get in it?
That's what it is, right?
They're used to dipping out of lakes, so
I know,
something
what I
like
mean
this is
is-
great.
Just that it fills with sediment, it's harder for us to clean up. So I would suggest that you put it, I have one of these
So
on some property.
They don't
in
want a top
Idaho,
on it at all,
Not even a tarp, just to keep
because
it,
if they need to get into it, they're gonna have to do it fast.
right.
And if the area is compromised, we won't be getting up there with
Oh, I
personnel.
see.
So they don't want a top on it. They don't mind dipping in. I mean, they can't dip. So what we would look at is cutting half the tank off and using the bottom half. And they can only dip even about half of that half. So
Okay, so
it's
that's
not like we're
better
getting
then.
dipping out.
So
Sediment
we're saying is
retention.
we're getting a community pool at the same time.
Well, and as it
Uh,
drains out, when it drains out every year, every fall, you're gonna force a lot of that material out of it. Some very large outport. And so it's the turbulence is gonna actually move a lot of that.
Will it just dump out wherever?
Yeah,
There's no
we'll
way
probably
that we
just
can
have to
direct
slow
it or
let it go.
anything?
We have some area down in there it can catch,
Okay.
without going down the hill to residents. And yeah, it'd be done slowly over time.
Okay.
Just crack it.
Yeah.
The state's talking about participating in this project with us and then also count it towards some of our costs that we have to put towards our cooperative agreement we have with the state that we have to match. We have to have some in-kind dollars every year. And we usually do that with chipping or citizen time or whatever, our wildland crew. This would also could count towards that. And they would give us credit for that. Plus they would help participate in the cost if it is used. They would pay for the water and that kind of stuff. So it's really not, I think it's a value to our community that's a very low at any cost at all.
Okay.
Be great.
A little bit of time to fill it and empty it.
How many gallons, do you anticipate half of a tank up there?
So the tank is a 200,000 gallon tank. So if we cut it in half and fill it, that'd be
50.
100,000 gallons.
But you're gonna cut it, but you cut it in half, you don't fill it all the way, you fill half of the half?
No, we would fill it all.
Fill the 100K.
We'd fill that half, so they have a little
Okay.
room to dip
Yeah.
and we do have ways for sediments to settle out a little bit, stuff like that. And that, but we don't know yet. That's kind of what we're looking at with the engineers can we cut it off? Because you lose some of that structural integrity. of the
Yeah,
tank when you cut
exactly.
the roof off. So
Right.
can we cut it off? If we can, what level should we cut it off? Would it require some additional reinforcing around it somehow if we do that? And is the coatings in good enough shape that it's viable without rusty, and the inside of it, actually, we crawled in it, it looked really good shape inside, so.
And you said that then you would negotiate some sort of a trade-off in funding, or they would take off some of the assessment that is put on our city? Is that what you said?
It'd go towards some of our match that we're required to meet each year. So if you know, we have an agreement with the state. It's called a Cooperating Wildfire Systems Agreement. And what that means is that every year our city matches so many dollars towards mitigation work.
That's why we ask residents
And
to tell us their
When they
hours. on
clear their
cleaning up.
hour, yes, their hours go towards that. Our wildland cruise time goes towards it, stuff like that. This now would be one of those that would go towards it. In turn for us doing this mitigation and meeting these match requirements, if we have a fire in our community and the state has to come fight that fire, they won't charge us for it. So that's what that agreement does.
That's great.
Wonderful.
So
Anything
that's
else?
all, no, that's all I got.
You sure?
Yeah. I think we've
Wonderful.
had some good seat time tonight, so we'll
I love it.
keep it short.
Planning Commission Code Enforcement, Wayne.
Just bring the council up to date a little bit on some things that the city is working on. We're looking to, for lack of another term, annex some property through Summit Creek that is part of Elk Ridge right now. And we kind of got off on the wrong foot process-wise. And we're doing it the way we thought we were supposed to. And Jody ran it by our attorney and they said, no, you're doing it all wrong. And the process had started with Elk Ridge and the county they were fine. And so had we continued down that path, it would have been void and all of that would have been for naught. So what we do with an adjoining city that has property that is potentially to be brought into our city, for example, is a boundary adjustment. You still have to go through the public hearings and things like that. So we're going down that road and we'll see where that that gets this. Both cities generally have to agree to it, and so,
County surveyor,
pardon?
and the county surveyor also, I think, does boundary adjustments.
They do annexations. We'll still have to file it with them,
Yeah,
but this is between the two cities and we have to do a municipal
yeah, boundary adjustment,
Yeah.
adjustment on the
because I know that, well, never mind.
So anyway, we're working on that. We'll have a public hearing next month on the general plan and the changes that you're recommending tonight, and kind of finalizing that and put it out for public hearing. And then planning commission will take a vote on it, then it'll come to the council for a vote. And once that's completed, these, by the way, may not be consensus votes. So it's just like everything else that we take votes on, the majority rules. So there may be parts of it that individuals might not agree with, and that's fine. Whether it's planning commission or council, but anyway, that's what we're looking to do process-wise with that. We're also going through a process of vacating part of the bottom part of the Eagle Nest Drive for Summer Creek. This goes back to the development agreement that we made with them a number of years ago, and plans to do that. And they will include that then as a part of it. Basically, where it ends, the cul-de-sac, that will be part of their private road that they take through their development at this phase of what they're working on. So we've discussed that with our attorneys and are confident in the process that is to do that, have a public hearing. It'll come before you as well. But we've agreed to do that in the development agreement. So Jody's taken a bulk of the work on that, working through the processes and putting it together. So it's a time thing. Public hearings are required, so that takes time to publish those and to do them. So any questions on any of that? Very good. Thank you.
Okay. Aaron told me he doesn't have anything for us.
I have something for us on that.
Maybe. Okay, what do you got?
Just that he and I had a meeting with the American Red Cross. Did he tell you about that?
We did, and we're going to, Ted and I are going to talk about that and figure out what that might look like going forward. So
Okay.
we're not probably ready to.
Are we still having
To
the fire
throw
drill
that.
on the day, that day?
Yes.
Can we at least say that?
Yep, we are looking to have a citywide fire drill. We're not exactly sure what the scope will look like on that. I'm actually working with Janet and Dan to work on the communication portion of how
June
we let
20th.
the residents know on June 20th. Thank you. So please, everybody, look for more information on that front. Thank you, Carrie. 911 dispatch.
All right. So Mayor, I know you're jealous that I get to do this, so.
You have 3 minutes.
Oh, I'll hurry. Okay,
Take the time you need.
we're in the middle of, I've got some good stuff tonight. We're in the middle of budgeting over there too, and they're going to give 5% raises to dispatchers. As an example, American Fork is doing 6% raises for all their employees. But the costs of dispatching is they're very competitive. There's other dispatch centers local here. Mapleton, Springville's got one, Provo's got one, Lehigh, Linden and Orem's got one. So anyway, it's competitive, and these dispatchers go to where the getting's best. And we get 75% more workload at our dispatch than Provo does. So we vote on the budget this Thursday and I'll have details on the final numbers, but it doesn't look like our costs are going to go up very much. And the good news is our calls for the last 2 years have gone down. So I was pleased to see that. So,
Is there a reason?
well, it's just good. You know, we've got behaved citizens, and this is specific to Woodland Hills.
Oh, just for Woodland Hills.
All of dispatch calls, not just 911s, but any calls to dispatch has gone down. Actually, about 100 since last year. So, so I'd like to share with you an incident with our neighbor over in Payson. They had a very difficult call, and it'll give you a feeling for what our dispatchers do. This was a letter dispatch received from the Payson Police Department. I'd like to share it. I'm writing this letter. This is from the police department, Corporal White from the Payson City Police Department. I'm writing this letter to express my appreciation for the level of professionalism and empathy shown by dispatcher Heather Burr on March 25th, 2026, for a suicidal male calling into dispatch on Salem case, blah, blah, blah. Payson officers responded to assist due to the vague information the caller was providing. And upon conducting the investigation, the patient disclosed that they had intended to arrest the officers upon their arrival in an attempt to force the officers to commit suicide by cop. The patient advised that while speaking with dispatch on the phone, the male had been convinced to change his mind from the empathetic tone and communication provided by dispatcher Burr. Heather Burr was in the room at the meeting to honor her. The patient instead opted to seek needed help and was compliant with the officers while on scene.
Oh.
Now, imagine how the police felt about that. They get to go home having a better day because of the way she helped. And so this letter ends. This is a statement to the exemplary performance exhibited by Central Utah Dispatch and specifically Dispatcher Burr for this incident. We officers appreciate the dedication you have shown to the citizens of Utah County and the assistance provided to us. Keep up the good work and thank you. Kind of gives an illustration of the type of work these dispatchers do, and not everyone's cut out to be a dispatcher. So when we find a good one,
Retention.
yeah, we want to keep them. And and they've got a lot of good ones down there. I've met many of them. We've toured the facility several times, and we should take the council down there and tour that place. You'll get a real impressive feeling of where your 911 calls go to. So I would encourage us to plan that sometime. I'd be glad to help us out.
I love your reports, Doral.
Thank you.
And please express our gratitude
Yeah.
to them for the good work they are doing. Have any of you been able to tour 911?
I
Dispatch?
have several times.
You haven't, Janet?
Oh, you haven't?
Brian, have you been to dispatch?
Many times.
Okay. I
always
don't know about Steve, but if you would be willing to set that up, Doral,
Okay.
I think that would be a valuable asset, especially if we can coordinate it with maybe something with Sergeant Dudson and coordinating there.
Okay.
Maybe go tour the jail or something along those lines while we're out there. Thank you. Okay, so mayor and city council reports. This should be fun. A reminder that we will, let's try and keep those
5 minutes.
5 minutes or less so that we can, though we're actually doing pretty good, but we're making good progress here. And let's see if I can keep my own rule here. For MAG and COG, we've had a number of different meetings, as Ted highlighted. A lot of our meetings lately have been focused on the distribution of MAG potential grants. As Ted said, we are 19th out of 30 for the MAG trail that we're looking to have up Woodland Hills Drive. I maybe am a little overly optimistic on that, more so than Ted. But so hopefully I'm win and not you.
Hey, we're on a streak.
I
We're on a
appreciate
streak.
that. I think we've got, well, it all comes down. They've said that there might split the projects into street projects and trail projects, which may help us quite a bit. Because I think,
We're fifth on the trail, it's about 8, so we're still.
so who knows? But that's what we've been focusing a lot on with MAG and COG. We've also been going through a lot of discussions around, especially with the budgetary cycle right now. What is everybody doing compensation wise? How is people treating, how are different administrations treating their people? What are those types of raises, things like that? For SESD, I had a resource meeting yesterday and I had a board meeting today. There is some interesting things going as to resource capture. Our people at SESD are impressive. They do such a great job. We have exquisite staff there, but the leadership at SESD is really moving right now. They have a potential new contract that is coming that they are trying to negotiate that will hopefully be able to help us secure continued rates instead of increased rates. So we're hoping to be able to do well there. Things have been a little weird because we're starting to hit our peak months faster due to the lack of snow. And we had lower consumption during the winter than usual due to those warmer
AC's been
temperatures.
running the last couple days, which is
Oh.
wild.
Amen. It is crazy, and we're seeing that. We've been able to negotiate a few different contracts with a few people or a few power suppliers that hopefully will lock us in at a much better rate for those peak hours and during the peak season, which should help us be able to keep rates at the same. So we have no intention of running at Truth and Taxation there on rate increases, which is always a good news. Nothing really new for the transfer station. But for a legal update, I did want to make a comment more than an actual update, because there's not much that has changed legally, though we have had a hearing date for our state appeal dismissal case, as well as our vexatious claim against them. And so hopefully that will go well for us. But I wanted to make a comment. There was a post from Anonymous on their Facebook page, and they made a comment that I'd like to give a little bit of a counter comment to. And it says this, number 3 in their long post: legal costs without clear context. March alone included approximately $22,000 in legal expenses involving multiple legal teams. While legal costs can vary, there are no clear public breakdown or historical context provided during the meeting. Residents should be able to understand, and then it's 3 bullet points, what these costs relate to, whether they are increasing, and how they compare year over year. It is true that there are multiple entities involved. A lot of that has to do with the fact that most of the legal issues we've dealt with have been land use issues, which are typically not something that is litigated the way this has been. Thus, insurance no longer is carrying for those particular cases, and that is why our legal fees have increased. We believe we may be able to look at potential strategies on that front. But one of the reasons that I wanted to highlight here is when we do provide legal updates with a great degree of clarity, there tends to be legal retribution. So on, actually, I don't know the date. Is this February 25th? We had, is that when that amendment was filed? 225? that what that means? Well,
Likely.
earlier this year, there was a second amended complaint filed in the Fugia versus Woodland Hills and many others. And this is an amendment. And this is kind of what it states when they are litigating me personally. And I'm saying this not to bring pity to me or any of the other staff that have been personally called into this litigation, but for the reasons of why we may not always give full clarity around the legal situation going on in the city, because one, we have a narrative that is not necessarily articulating, in my opinion, an integral view of what is going on. But this is what the amended claim now is saying about a statement I read in February 10th due to a request for higher legal transparency. It says, as mayor, Hilliard on February 10th, 2026 broadcast to 520 city households a $6,500 per household cost figure for settlement of this litigation that he subsequently admitted had no documentary basis. There are no records documenting this calculation. And he is quoting an email that I sent to a resident requesting a grandma for that calculation. Selecting among undocumented figures. City recorder Stones carbon copied on Hilliard's written admission took no corrective action. Now, this is them claiming that we are hiding information, which is a falsity. What we are saying is there is no record quantifying this calculation because basically
It's simple
it's
math.
simple math. I rendered the numbers in our head with a calculator on my phone, right? We added the two different, the smallest, which is also changed a little bit here in these amended complaints. The smallest numbers of both potential claims that have been filed against the city, divided by the number of resident homes in the city, and that's where the number came from. And so there is a constant fabrication or exaggeration or manipulation of our words, and thus the legal updates we're trying to keep as factual as possible because we're not trying to weaponize anything, but this is the funds of the city of Woodland Hills, which is a collective sum of our residents. It's their money. As I have spent so much time going over the budget with the staff, with the finance committee twice, and the council, we hold these funds sacred. The expenditure of them, we try not to do without careful consideration. And so when these allegations are made, part of the reason we don't necessarily go into these details is due to the retaliation that we get. And thus, I sometimes feel these are statements of somewhat of an entrapment, getting us to say things that they can use out of context to thus increase their litigation against the city, increasing the costs of the city. And so I just wanted to give that legal update and a little bit of context to the narrative that is being propagated on social media.
There will be more now. because you
Of
commented.
course. I made this comment, and now it'll be back out there, but I did want to at least put in those 2 cents. And they have the freedom of speech, and I'd never want to remove that. So with that being said, though, I'd like to move to Councilmember Hutchings for SUV MWA and Mount Nebo Water.
Well, so now I gotta follow that. I appreciate it.
Every single time, because you're always after me, brother.
Okay, for SUMVA, or South Utah Valley Municipal Water Association, we met with both of these associations yesterday. I was able to get them to start broadcasting those as an online, so I'm able to attend those when I'm out of town. It was a work session for SUMVA, and a couple of the items that we worked through. One is the attorney that used to cover SUMVA is no longer with Patient City, so we're working to find attorney coverage. The financial group that covered Strong and Cooney that had done representation for SUMVA has retired, and so he's done it for decades, and so they're looking for someone new. I actually talked with Charlene, and she's interested, and I proposed her name. They're gonna get through this fiscal year and the new budget with help from Payson City. And then we're going to look at proposals, and she will be on that. She said that when I talked to her, she said it fit right into the kind of thing that she's looking for. And the technical committee, which I had actually nominated Ted to help chair with Brady Wild from Salem. And Ted dodged a big bullet there, and Brady and now I've forgotten the name, are going to be taking care of that technical committee. So I've told Ted just as long as he's there to mentor the new young kids and help them through this. Ted's super experienced with this kind of thing. But Zumba actually is one of the lesser of the groups that I feel like that I attend their meetings. And more of it is the Mount Nebo. And Nebo is much more complex in what they're doing. So I'll move on to Mount Nebo. Again, we had the meeting yesterday, and the big part of that meeting, the largest part of that meeting, was going over the groundwater model. They put a lot of information into this, Ted. If you haven't seen it yet, I'm trying to get a copy of it so we can pass it on and we can really see what they've been putting together. Put a lot of money into this groundwater model update, and then kind of went through kind of how this thing is laid out. It's a little bit different, and how they're putting those things together. Really, really interesting. I'll try to get that for everybody to look at. One of the things that they are looking at is the 2027 database and managing that. So we're probably going to see some more fees. I don't know that it's going to be any more than we were before, but there is some maintaining of that system that's going to come out. So we'll see that coming through. We got a presentation from the water commissioner at Vidmar for the 2026 water year. Not looking so fantastic, folks, and we all know that. They did review and put the tentative budget together and voted on that. And then talked a little bit about some future meetings. And one of the things that they talked about, and I'll get more information as this comes out, is last year they had a special meeting around July 1st, and they're looking at doing it again. And what they want to do is they want to present with local, state, and federal elected officials, and they're looking at doing that in Spanish Fork at the library. So expect an invite somewhere around July 1st for everyone on that. And so they want to do some presentations with all the as many elected officials as they can, including council people on that.
Ryan, did you say that's July 1st for all of us? That's a set date right now?
It is not. It's just proposed. So they're working out the finals, and I'll get that information to you. But expect it right there. And one of the things they're looking at is the Southern Utah County water demands and the infrastructure. When the new treatment center, because that's been put off, when that is going to be needed, and things like that into the future. So to kind of look forward to that, and I'll do my best to attend it if you're not able to make it, and give a report to that. One of the things that we talked about kind of in both meetings, more in the Mount Nebo, and we all know we're in a tough year, right, for water. And one of the things that they talked about was kind of strike when the iron is hot. Everybody is more open to water conservation, water restrictions right now, because everybody knows how difficult our water year has been and our lower snowpack has been. So I had talked to Ted previously, and I'm gonna recommend to the mayor and Ted that we look at some conservation efforts sooner than later. And like we talked about going through the general plan, that people have a tendency to use more water during drought years. And so now is a time for us to push some conservation efforts, maybe get our PIO involved, and get some things out on social media, and let's see if we can do some conservation, because we're in for a tough year. It's not going to affect us near as much as some other cities. Actually, Strawberry, their bank levels are doing really well, but they're concerned. They're still concerned. Everybody's quite concerned about the water. So I think some conservation efforts coming from our city, at least recommend high recommendations, if not restrictions, would be a good time to do that for us. So that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Hutchings. I failed to acknowledge the absence of Councilmember Johns earlier, but he is unable to join us, and so he has been excused. Councilmember Lund.
Well, you can see on there, I didn't have anything specifically, but we have our new co-chairs for Woodland Hills Days. And we had some good name suggestions. We had quite a few, but one thing that we heard from a lot of people is that we really wanted to get some participation from Summit Creek. That's something that we've really lacked in some of our major events. So I bravely texted Tim and Hillary Weeks last night because I had just gotten home from my trip. And they said, yeah, we're going to be in the car driving in 20 minutes. Give us a call. So I did, and they didn't even have to think about it. They already had ideas, and they said yes immediately. So
Great.
Hillary had said, we'll think about it. We'll call you tomorrow. And she goes, you know what? We're just going to commit right now. We're both looking at each other, nodding our heads yes. So anyway, so I'm excited. They have some good ideas. I talked to them about wanting to incorporate the 250-year celebration into Woodland Hills Days. And so they were really excited about that, and they were going to start brainstorming, and we're going to have our first official meeting May 27th. So we'll get everybody together, get rolling.
Wonderful.
And Dan's helping with all that. And I picked the people without asking, but he knew the names.
Yes.
He knew the names, and he didn't object to the names. I just called them and picked them. So anyway. Yeah, that's all.
Wonderful. Councilmember Malkovich.
Yes, with the animal shelter.
Yes.
Like every other entity are doing their budget, so we passed the budget today. Participation fees are based on each city's share of total animal intake. When one city experiences an increase in animals, their percentage and cost rises. Conversely, decreases in another city shift percentages across all participants. Annual numbers are the previous full calendar year. So they gave us the intake of and the money that is allocated to that. Ours went up significantly, so it is at $4,967. Now,
The year before, we only had like one or something.
we have 12. We have 12 animals. That's been the last couple of years. We've had about 12. But I brought up that this was not, myself and Councilman Euler from Spanish Fork brought up that this system is not a very good allocation of or assessment. The formula is not. We're wanting to look, it's too late for this year because they've already put the budget numbers accordingly, but maybe changing that formula based on the class of city instead of just the number of animals that are taken in. Because when I did the math for them and let them know that our allocation for Woodland Hills is $414 per animal.
Oh, yeah.
But for Provo, theirs is only, using the same formula, theirs is only $170 per animal. So their formula is not quite accurate in how they're assessing the number of animals that are picked up based on the city size. So we, Councilman Euler and I are going to work on this for next year, that we can maybe have a little bit more of some equality in how that percentage is done. They didn't even recognize that it was so skewed.
Was there any calculation involved that maybe people in the cities were dropping off their animals into us rural cities? Thus-
Goshen is for sure.
I just came from Goshen,
Yep.
it's town council, that's.
The mayor was there today and he said, we know for sure some of the stuff that was allocated for us. And so when an animal is picked up on on the border or whatever, it has to, Goshen is negotiating on some of their animals. We only have 12. And they can, when it's picked up and it says the street is in the middle of Woodland Hills, we're probably, I don't know why these animals are picked up or not picked up, whatever. But hopefully we can get that changed, because I did not feel that was a very, very good thing. Now, in addition to that, so that's the budget going forward, and it was passed today. We also passed another document that Dora will probably appreciate.
Last meeting.
Yeah, so today we approved the South Valley Animal Shelters Community Cat and TNVR policy. Remember, TNRV is trap, neuter, vaccinate, and return, or community cat program. And so I will email you all this, but basically it's under code, Utah Code 1146-301. A local government may choose to authorize a community cat program through our own ordinances, but then it outlines the specifics between ourselves, a rescue organization, and the shelter, to what each one would be responsible for or not responsible for. Does not say that we need to do that. It's just a choice that each city would have. But I will email you the final version that we approved today, as well as then the budget.
Wonderful. Yeah, thank you much. Councilmember Roden.
No, just in support of Councilwoman Lunt around Woodland Hills Days. And then also you and I have discussed about a broader scope of educating residents on just kind of the events that we do support and host as a city, and hopefully more advertising of them regularly. Maybe not, I'm actually surprised on some of the ones when you and I had a conversation. So working on that. And then the other piece too for you is I'm building an application to better manage Woodland Hills Days. So as we transfer from chair to chair to chair, they'll actually have a software to help manage contacts, tasks, all those type of things to better hopefully.
Yeah, because right now we're just kind of.
Right now it's banders, it's a bunch of binders and, things of that, notes, handwritten notes, spreadsheets, Google Docs. So gonna build a little utility
Little more
to
consistency.
help manage it. And then we'll have a mobile component as well, so they can be able to manage it on the go.
Awesome.
So, but we'll probably use this year as an opportunity to do that knowledge transfer and see what needs to go over and what content needs to be in there.
Callie's did send an email. I'll find it and forward it to you too, where they kind of had all that information. So I'll find it. I'm trying to think where it was. It might be in a text, like a link to a Google Doc or something.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'll see if I can find it and get it to you
We
early.
just want to put it more in our encapsulated with the city rather than in random Google Docs all over.
Yep.
So I'm working on that one too, so.
Beautiful. Thank you. Okay. Any items for any upcoming city council meetings?
We talked about some last time, and they're still coming up, so strategic plan is one of those.
Strategic plan is one of them.
Oh, we do have a public hearing next week for the bond.
Yes, next council meeting.
Next council.
I was gonna say, I have a meeting, we have a meeting next week? Yes, we do have for that bond. We should be receiving, hopefully, some of those documents shortly. Anything else? Michael? Or not Michael? Michael, if you have one, that'd be great. Brian?
Nothing right now. I'll work with Wayne when I actually get back into town on that ordinance that I was working on.
Wonderful. Okay, thank you.
So next, we need to work on a grant for the playground,
Hey, let's keep
right?
Toilet grant, Mark.
Yeah, we need a toilet, we need a trail.
There you go.
Increase security with the toilet.
Exactly, that'll be fun.
That was one of the problems that we had when we didn't put it in originally, because we didn't have enough law enforcement to be able to make sure that
Becomes a little drug hub.
And that's why, or other things. And so we just
Well,
need to make sure that
Those things happen there
we have
anyway.
we have some security in place for our residents.
And our little circles.
This might be a good opportunity to remind the public that there are cameras throughout the city, and one of those is at the park. And so it is being surveilled. So you may want to just keep that in mind.
Tell your teenagers, there are cameras everywhere.
Okay, then we will take, what are we at here? Why can't we ever end like 5 minutes to 8:30?
I don't know.
We will end now. We'll take a break till 8:35. Okay. Brian, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Okay, then I'd like to call this city council meeting to order. We are going to have an invocation from Councilmember Roden and a pledge of allegiance from Councilmember Malkovich.
Father, we're thankful for the opportunity to meet together as city council and mayor and supporting staff to do the work of this wonderful community. We're thankful for the opportunity to serve. We pray for our community and its unique needs and our people. We pray that we'll be mindful of them and that we can be judicious and educated about how we go about this city business. And this we pray for. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Everybody would please rise and repeat. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you both. I'd like to open the public comment. Public comments are limited to 2 minutes per individual unless otherwise directed. Comments submitted by email must be received by 3 p.m. on the day of the meeting to be included in the official record. Emailed comments will not be read aloud during the meeting, but will be distributed to the city council and included in the meeting record. So do I have anybody, Diana or Michael?
We lost Sherry. She already posted on Facebook.
Oh. Diana?
My family just got home, so I can put myself here. There were just comments of wording that could have helped, and I've shared it with Carrie and Janet. I don't know that it's.
I forwarded them to you.
Chipper days. We can take out the word chipper days because what it is a city forest-wise cleanup days. Sometimes we have the advantage of having chipper days, sometimes we don't. But it would be wise if we continue to have something every year that's calendared and reminding citizens how to do what.
I like that. Thank you.
Because there have been years, there's where we just had the green barrels, right? I mean, I remember one year we had the bins and we didn't have the chipper, but we could haul all our green.
Yeah.
Water usage, reducing water usage. My suggestion was some methods we encourage are blank, but you got close to that one by the time you're done talking. And
you said water usage is typically greater on that one line that was highlighted.
That's right. Yeah.
I appreciate it.
And not even, just globally, whenever there's a drought, water usage typically greater. Thank you.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, I received those, and I'll be including those. Appreciate it. Michael, anything from you?
Thank you. No, nothing tonight. I appreciate it.
Kevin, thank you for your contributions on the finance committee as well. You've been a great asset there. Okay, then I will close the public comment. Actually, is there anybody here? Doyle?
Not right now, no.
Okay, then we will continue to close it. We will move to the consent agenda, the approval of minutes for April 28th, 2026 City Council meeting. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Motion from Councilmember Janet, Lunt? Wow,
That one.
I'm struggling.
It's all
And a
good.
second from Councilmember Roden. Councilmember Malkovich.
Yes.
Councilmember Hutchings.
Yes.
Councilmember Roden.
Yes.
Councilmember Lunt.
Yes.
The consent agenda passes. Business, consideration and possible action authorizing the mayor to execute the accounting services contract with Charlene Wild. I'll accept a motion.
I'll motion.
Motion from Councilmember Malkovich. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, okay, sounds like it goes, the second goes to Councilmember Hutchings. Councilmember Lunt,
Yes.
Councilmember Roden,
Yes.
Councilmember Hutchings,
Yes.
Councilmember Malkovich.
Yes.
Thank you so much for that support. I have no need for, or see a reason to go into closed session. Is there anybody here that feels that would be worth our time per the state statute allowance?
Not tonight. For me.
You kind of gave us a little bit of a legal update during your presentation, so.
Wonderful, okay.
Wait. Does that mean we're gonna be out of here?
Oh, we're trying to break some records here. I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Diana. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Doral. Appreciate you guys.